Oh, hi, Amina! Ariwa Trat, and welcome back to Golden Sun! Okay, so as you can see over here, we have the second path unlocked now. Thank you, enemies, I appreciate it. So we're gonna go through the second path, see what there is to grab, and then we'll take a second shot at Deadbeard and see how that goes. So next month of classes starting now. I've got 3D content creation and structure of game production. Structure of game production is all okay. Structure of game production 1 is all about documentation and whatnot. I'm not thrilled about it, but thankfully one of the members in my party is more design-oriented than I am, so all I have to really worry about is making the game, and then poke up my finger a little bit in that pot of amazingness. Oh, come on. Push it. Push it. There we go. I see things that require wind. Just in case, because I can see the game throwing some enemies at me. But yeah, for content creation, we're basically learning how to use Maya, which I've got mixed feelings over, because of the fact that a solid chunk of today's lab was either me having issues with Maya, because like when I first tried to download it, it wasn't happening at all. I had to restart my computer twice. I had to get rid of every single thing running that wasn't Maya to make Maya download and then install. And then Maya, for whatever random reason, included a ton load. It included 3 gig. Okay, to install Maya, you had to download a 3 gigabyte file to download Maya. It was retarded. So, like, after I downloaded Maya and then got it running, I had to go and find the ridiculously large downloader assist. Oh, fudge. I had to go get rid of the ridiculously huge download assister that it made me download Maya. Whoever thought things like that were a good idea are clearly not all that great. I wasn't pleased. Okay, so we have the option of going right, which takes us back on the path we want to go, or, over here, we've got another box, maybe. It's probably a box. I mean, like, learning how to make stuff with Maya is nice and all, but Oracle's Robe. I do believe this is, your ultimate thing, right? Yeah, this is, Okay, so the Oracle Robe is Maya's ultimate armor. Restore... Okay, it just makes her healing abilities better, which you'll never see me complain about better healing abilities. Let's see, so what have we got here? The Circlet restores PP. Magic Caustic. Can I give this to Ivan? But I like having Ivan with the resist practically everything. Plus Virtuous Armor already stores PP if I recall correctly, right? Right? Nope, just restores a bunch of hit points if you use it. Do you really not have any... Oh, the Lucky Cap restores PP, I was about to say. Oh, while I'm here, so I have Isaac with his best equipment. I gave Garrett the cursed equipment. I gave Ivan... okay, so off-screen, I ran back to Kayle and spent all my lucky medals and all my game tickets again, and the only thing that I really got out of it was the quick boots, so I naturally gave it to Ivan. And then you didn't get anything new until just now. So yeah. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. I should stop moving, you guys. I really should. I do find it interesting that the game actually remembers what you did in this puzzle. That's kind of interesting, because I have fully left this place. And I'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and fill up. Oh, you can actually walk into that. I've never tried that before. I assume that was just a bad idea to begin with. But it's funny that they added that in there. It's like, oh, the one electrical field in the game, when you walk into it, you get burned. Even though it technically doesn't do anything, I still think it's interesting. But yeah. Yeah, so getting prepped for spring break, which for me is in a month. I'm kind of excited. Because, one of my high school teachers wants me to talk to his class. He recently I was one of the leaders of the robotics club that he administered, and then also I was one of the main people in robotics club. I don't want to say like the head, because technically we didn't have a head, but I did most of the programming. And then I also I was also his first programming student for the month before I came here to Full Sail. Yeah, and he actually was able to start a programming class in my former high school, so I'm pretty excited for him. Gives him something to do other than run around and have Mr. Sunmeyer tell him what to do. So it's always a good thing. Yeah, he wants me to, he's currently teaching Java. Yeah, he teaches C++. Yeah, he teaches, okay, let me try it again. So he teaches, Visual Basic during summer school, and then teaches Java during normal school. There we go. Yeah, he wants me to talk to the kids in his Java class, because I can, I guess. And I can't say no to the guy, because I just enjoy being around him, and he's lots of fun, so... Okay, let's save, and see how this goes. Hey, Deadbeard. Nice to see you again, buddy. I'm actually kind of surprised. So, like, this past day, I had a nagging feeling to return to Xenoblade. And I was like, oh man, I never finished that game. I really want to finish that. And I just pulled it back up. And my Wiimote was, like, dead at the time. So I was like, oh, I'll just recharge this and then try again later. And I finally get everything running again. And I sit down and it's like, oh, cool, I'm level 45. I have no clue what in the world I'm doing. Oh, I moved Murasama over to Garrett, because it's fire-oriented, and because Isaac's ultimate equipment, regardless of cursed equipment, is the Gaia Blade, so being able to chuck around a Ragnarok every other turn is amazing. I think Garrett has a yeah, Garrett has a Thunder Crown on him, so he restores PP, so he can assist in healing from time to time, and not instantly run out of magic. And I'm glad I'm doing so now. One thing that's kind of sad, though, in terms of the synergy, is that by the time you reach the end of the game, you pretty much just auto-attack everything. I need to... do you have break on you? No. Does anybody have break on them? Because I'd love it right now. Do you have break by some random chance of luck? Ooh, you picked up Deluge. I wonder when that happened. Apparently we don't have break. I might be hurting. Because, like, as soon as he decides to do a melee attack, I'm just... Oh, okay, yes, please go after Garrett and Isaac with those melee attacks. I appreciate it, thank you. Yeah, so, if by some random chance that Mr. Storm, you are watching this video, you're an amazing guy, and thank you for introducing me to the world of programming. Well, I mean, like, actually introducing me to the world of programming. Because he knows, but I don't think I've said on any of my videos before that I did, like, a couple of game making camps before. Garrett's probably gonna die. Oh, nope, got lucky. Like, I did some game making camps before, so I'm familiar with software like Game Maker and RPG Maker and Alice. But in terms of actual programming from the ground up, Mr. Storm teaching me Visual Basic was my first steps. And there went Garrett. I was wondering when that was going to happen. So I've got Revive. I can take care of that. This sucks. Oh, so there's a couple of things you can do to abuse this boss. I'm trying to fight this guy normally, but a couple of things you can do to abuse this guy. The first is that the summon system in the original Golden Sun wasn't completely balanced. It did damage proportional to the boss's... not the bosses. It did damage proportional to the enemy's max HP. So, if you really want to make this fight easier, and you feel like being lucky... Oh, it's practically luck-based. You have everybody put all their Jin on standby, and then you spam level 4 and level 3 summons. And then, if he doesn't die after that, then you just have to hope that you're lucky and that you can finish off the last, I don't know, probably 500 or so hit points before he brutally murders you. I haven't actually tried fighting Deadbeard the easy way, just because of the fact that he's supposed to be this big nasty boss. And I don't feel like cheapening the challenge by abusing a not fully balanced system. Now, that being said, I do believe that the summons were fixed quite a bit in Lost Age. I remember using summons from time to time in Lost Age, but I don't remember it being, anything as proportional as it is in... Oh, shoot. That would've been bad. I don't remember it being anything as proportional as it is in here. So, that's a thing. I should be getting really close to killing him. I mean, he hasn't killed us yet, so that ought to count for something, right? Let's see, if I recall correctly, Deadbeard has about 6,000 HP. Whereas the final boss maybe has 4,000 HP. Don't quote me on those numbers, but that sounds and feels about right. Oh darn, Maya's down to halfway on her healing. Whatever shall I do? I'm just gonna have you ply well yourself. I don't want to have you waste wish. Don't want to waste wishes around here. Aren't enough stars in the sky visible as it is. This guy takes so long. Hey, we got him! Da 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 da. Alrighty then. Picked up Demon Mail. So it's pretty powerful armor. It just gives you a -10 to your wind resist, which isn't all that big a deal to me. I'm gonna give it, but I'm not gonna equip it because I want to look at the dragon scales first. Okay, so I can have Garrett either with slightly lower defenses, but a higher resist against his weakness, or lose that resistance and have his defense go up by 8. This choice is entirely up to you. I'm personally gonna stick with the dragon scales. But yeah, so that was Deadbeard, which means in the next video, we can finish the game. I'm not gonna jump or any... I mean, I don't think this video's been all that long. Yeah, it's only been 14 minutes. So the rest of this video will just be me talking and walking my way back to the top floor of Venus Lighthouse. So I hope you guys enjoy the walk there. And me talking. Let's see, so I need to reset douse to left. Down I go. But yeah, I mean, okay, going back to Maya and whatnot now. Maya's okay. It's just that, me personally, my experience getting it to get on my computer and actually work was a royal pain. And then, I know a bunch of my, fellow students, comrades, were having issues where, 3 of them. So 3 students out of, let's see, how many of us are there in that class? There's 3 rows. We take up about half of each row. We're sitting about every 3rd seat. Well, it's not really every 3rd seat, it's more like every other seat. So there's about 20 of us? No, that's too high. There's about 15 of us. So that means of the 15 of us, 3 of us were experiencing Maya crashing regularly. A 20% likelihood of a program failing is not good in my opinion. Like, I understand that this is a program used in the industry, along with another which we'll be learning at a later time. But if it's gonna be picky with you and only cooperate 80% of the time, that's not a good sign. Just saying, not a good sign. And once again, the fact that the actual world of the original Golden Sun game being so small, love it. So easy to get from point A to point B, unlike Lost Age, where the map is ridiculously huge. Thinking of which, I never did actually find Crossbone Isle in Dark Dawn. Like, okay, for starters, Dark Dawn is way too easy. Like, Lost Age, in my opinion, was maybe harder than it needed to be in certain cases. Like, it wasn't all that bad most of the time. Yes! Got Helm Splitter finally. It was difficult from time to time, but I just felt that Lost Age was way too easy. I also wasn't happy that Lost Age decided to go and close off areas from time to time. That is the first time I have ever seen that in a Golden Sun game, and I did not like any of it, because it's like, oh, if you go past this point, if you missed anything, you're screwed. Which sucks if you're trying to collect all the Jin, because that means as soon as you run into one of those situations where it's like, hey, this is the last time you can ever come to this chunk of the world ever again, then it immediately makes you turn around. Okay, if you are a completionist, or want to act, I shouldn't say if you're a completionist, but if you want to complete the Golden Sun game, Dark Dawn, and have all the Jin, as soon as you see that, you're like, oh crap. And then you scour every single pixel on the land, making sure you didn't miss any Jin. Or I guess you could use an online guide if you really wanted to. But you honestly don't need to for this kind of game. It's okay. If this game is friendly enough that 8-year-old me can figure out how to beat this game and complete it, with the exception of that one treasure chest which shall go unmentioned. Cue montage of previous video. But I mean, like, if 8-year-old me can figure out how to complete Golden Sun before I figured out how to actually use the internet and whatnot. I mean, like, I knew how to use the internet, obviously, but I didn't, like, the internet, when I was 8 years old, was not the go-to answer for everything. Like, GameFAQs was still... Actually, GameFAQs was actually in its prime, if I remember correctly, when I was 8. Let's see, that'd be 2003? Yeah. That sounds about right. GameFAQs was in its prime, sure, but 8-year-old me did not have regular access to the internet. Oh, shoot. I forgot to reset them! Fudge! Please don't attack Ivan. Darn it, I said don't. Let's try this again. I have to reset these. Darn it. Yeah, so in case I haven't convinced you yet to play this game, go do so. Like, There's no reason not to be entirely honest. If you are an RPG fan, then I have to say this is one of the games you have to play. Speaking of games you have to play if you're an RPG fan, I'm currently, one of my classmates advised me to work on a game called Suikoden for the original PlayStation, where it's kind of like an army simulator of sorts. I have it written down, but, and I plan on getting to it as soon as I finish my other PlayStation Virtual Console things. Like, the problem I have at the moment is that I have so many various RPGs that take up quite a bit of time that I can't get to all of them at the moment, and it really makes me sad. I mean, when I picked up Shin Megami Tensei 4, I got about to level 23. I think I'm in the high 20s. I'm like level 25, and then I dropped it because of school getting in the way. And then Pokemon came out, and I marathoned the crap out of that, and I completed it in like a week. And then after Pokemon, I had Etrianos: The Untold Story, which I worked on quite a bit during my Christmas break when I got that. But then once I got back here to school, I just haven't had time to go back and finish it. Like, I'm currently in the second Stratum boss, who on hard is a royal prick. And I just haven't really had time to finish either of those Atlas games. And then I've got Persona 3 FES, and I'm most of the way through. Like, I'm in July at the moment, if I recall correctly. I just got back. I just got Aegis. There we go. That's the best point to explain it where I'm at. I just got Aegis, and I only have 2 weeks left until the next full moon. Plus, I have a whole bunch of quests to do, which have a deadline, which I'm not too happy about at the moment. Like, I wouldn't mind it so much if they didn't compound you losing a week for finals with losing a week for going to an island. I was kind of hoping to get more grinding done during then, but it's like, nope, you get to do nothing! And it's like, oh, thank you, game. Thank you for making that decision for me, I appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, and in case I haven't mentioned it before, the Persona series is a time management game of sorts, as well as a visual novel, wrapped in with RPG and Shin Megami Tensei goodness. Gosh darn it. There we go. So, like, every day, generally you go to school, with the exception of Sunday, because that's how school works in Japan. Sometimes you'll be asked a question in class, which can increase your... Well, either you'll be asked a question, or you'll be given the opportunity to stay up and listen to class, or to go to sleep during class. And then after school, you need to talk to people and work on social links, and then when night rolls around, you have the opportunity to either... do I need to hop here? No. You have the opportunity to either go to the mall, or the opportunity to use the dark hour to go fight shadows and whatnot. And then at the end of every month, well, I don't want to say the end of every month, but on every full moon, you have a boss fight, which is story-driven. And then you get new quests afterwards for that will, as long as you follow them, make it so that you're properly leveled up pretty much and have the appropriate equipment for the most part for the next storyline boss. No. But yeah, so I'm working on that, and I'm also most of the way through Final Fantasy VII. I just put Cloud's broken mind back together after him and Tifa go into the live stream. But once I finish those two, then I'll work on Suikoden, and then maybe finish Fire Emblem Awakening. because I spent so much time on grinding my children to get better characters that, like, I'm standing on the end of the game. I just haven't finished it because I got sidetracked. Alrighty then. So, next video is the finale. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, Jonah.